What is up, you guys? We are here for our weekly energy oracle forecast. Just taking a look at the week ahead to see what kind of energy we will be living and moving and having our being in. I'm already thinking about, things to cook up for fall. I'll be doing the 2026 prediction series, I'm sure, and I'm still working on this other little project going on in the background, and I'm working on the straightforward oracle deck and another little secret project. So I'm excited. So next month will be the month of Virgo. This will be the month of preparation leading up to Rosh Hashanah. And as you guys know, I always keep you informed about the Hebrew holidays, because they're not just for Jewish people. They are cosmic windows of openings in time and space that we have this particular energy available to us. And if we make a conscious connection to it, then we can participate with that energy and make the most of it. So I always share the significance of the holiday and the time and how we use it to do the soul correction and propel our evolution and our becoming. So stay tuned. Let's see, anything else of note? We'll have Rosh Hashanah, we'll have Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Hanukkah, so all kinds of fun things for the rest of the year. You can still get my 2025 prediction series below, and it's great for monthly readings. I don't always get to do new moon and full moon workshops, but those are monthly readings that also come with workshop questions that will give you the overview of our spiritual kind of lessons and things for the month. So I really stand by the prediction series. Before I released this one to the public this year, I'd been doing them for myself for several years, and they've always been helpful in just giving yourself a look at the year ahead, and seeing the whole thing from an outline point of view. If you're a writer, or you've ever imagined what it might be like to write something and you have an outline, you have the basic plot points laid out for you. And so I think that gives us really nice context for the year to help be a focal point and an anchor, and help us make the most of the year in ways we can, take advantage of not only opportunities, but also challenges. Because what we emphasize on this channel is that what is more opportunistic than an opportunity? A challenge. Challenge can reveal even more light than what looks like on the surface is a positive, fun opportunity. So all of that to come. Let's get started for this week. So this will be what kind of things and themes will be coming up for the week as far as the general energy. We have ego. And I did my personal reading today, and anxiety came out, and pain, but also knowledge. And so I think that this week, we're going to have a lot of insight into the ways that our ego sort of uses the gaps in our mind to get in there and sow seeds of doubt, self-doubt, judgment, criticism. It gets in there and it creates division and fear and disunity, right? And it makes us tempted to want to cast evil eye and wag evil tongue, and which stills the light from us. It stills our light that we've already built up. It cuts off our connection to the Creator and the way that the Shekhinah can protect and provide for us with sustenance and nourishment and abundance and fulfillment. And it exposes us to chaos. When we speak negatively about someone, what happens is, brace yourself, they get our blessings and we take on their tikkun. We take on their negative correction that they have to go through a process. And so I think that's, incrementally, you get a penalty incremental to your negative tongue. But Our words have great consequences and they have great power. So there are penalties for our words, and we pay for them in the things that happen to us, right? Those flat tires, those parking tickets, those times you're late for work, or whatever those little moments of seeming chaos are in your life, those aren't chaos at all. Everything is precisely orchestrated. And so even those penalties aren't punishments. They're just ways that the cosmos can rebalance you and burn off that negativity so that you stay on the side of the positive, right? You don't want the creator to give up on you, because then that's even a worse sign than feeling like you're being punished by the universe. Being punished by the universe is good. Then you got the universe on your back and on your ass because you're important. But if you're not feeling like you are having any sort of discipline from the cosmos, then, and you feel forgotten about, then that maybe you've cut off the connection so long that you're not even, affecting the the grand scheme of things. And the cosmos have been like, well, this person doesn't need direct supervision because their energy isn't very influential anymore. You've withered your connection. So it's time to reconnect. So, that's just to say, don't get discouraged, by feeling like the universe swats your hand with a ruler sometimes. You're not being punished. You're being shaped and guided. Oh, okay. So I kept seeing this card come up, and it's determined to come out. So we've got support here. And so this is the spinal column. And so you want a flexible, healthy spinal column. In order to build something that has a structure that is truly supportive, it has to be a little bit flexible, right? And cities that have earthquakes, the engineers have to build the buildings so that they're not so rigid that they don't have wiggle room, right? They need to have the ability to move a little bit and adjust. Same with suspension bridges. Like they are able to move and adjust as needed, so they just don't break and snap apart. So too, the flexibility that we need to adopt for growth and change and longevity and sustainability in our life. We're building on a new foundation. And so we need to be very clear and very conscious about what's going into the mixture that creates that foundation that we're pouring, right? What are we building on? So we want to make sure that we're building on a higher consciousness. Our consciousness is the seed level of everything that we create. So our consciousness is what we start with when we build. So if we have a warning here that our ego is acting up and we've got weeds growing in our brain, then that means, hey, make sure not to build your house on the flesh consciousness, the body consciousness, the ego consciousness. Make sure not to take action from a place of wanting instant gratification instead of doing the thing that yields long-term value. Don't build your house based on what's in it for me, what's the bottom line. Don't build your house waiting on results, right? You want to make it like your solemn oath within yourself to show up steadfast regardless of the seeming apparent results. You're doing the creator's work. You're doing your purpose, you're showing up, and that's all you need. You just need that resolve to keep going. And don't let your emotions cause you to go through like ups and downs where you're inspired one day, feeling the mood, and then, you're not inspired the next, and everything's, falling apart, right? You want to be consistent. You want to build more less extreme, more even keel and consistent steps. So it's like, for example, if you had to study or learn something new, like don't cram, right? Study incrementally and integrate the knowledge. And that is, you understand it and you embody that wisdom more that way than if you tried to cram at the last minute. Same with business practices. You can't do things in spurts and think that you're going to have a successful business. You really have to put hands on that business every day and not dabble. Nightmares. So this is really going to be a week of overcoming our fears and really ignoring what the ego is doing as far as like trying to block us or scare us off from our mission and our purpose by showing us all the nightmarish things that could play out, what is that called? Catastrophizing, right? Instead, you're going to continue to take steps. Because the fear can overwhelm us into freezing, right? It can throw us into trauma responses. So instead, you're going to take steps to build long-term security, long-term stability, long-term support. You're going to give energy to your spiritual studies and devotions every day, and the things that add to the spiritual security in your life, that connection, your personal connection with God, that keeps you safer than anything, right? Helps you overcome all your fears. Right? And we have to know that we're not in control, right? Like God's in control. The only thing we're in control of is our mindset and how much we feed into our ego and how much we buy into the voice of the ego. So I feel like we have to like find inner strength and resist the urge to cave into our fears this week, and just find like a solid determination within ourselves to go onward and upward, right? Onward, Christian soldier. Oh my God. Okay. Build. Yay. Focus on what we're building. We want creator consciousness, not destroyer consciousness. We want cause consciousness, not effect consciousness, right? We have to continue to show up every day and take steps and continue to build and make an effort. Every day, we're not going to feel like it at some point. Every day, the day is not going to be convenient to take on the challenge that's offered to us that day. But if we put it off till the next day, it only gets harder, and things only start building up, and the overwhelm only continues to intensify. So by continuing to stay on top of our tasks and not panic, not get emotionally bent out of shape, don't make it an emotional thing. It's just like, I just have a detached resolve that I'm just going to do this, right? Regardless of the circumstances. On this channel, for instance, I've been doing this for about 3-4 years now, making a video every day. And I've been through the gamut of the emotions of feeling like, is this ever going to take off? Like, what is the point? I am in despair. I'm going to keep going. Just numbing out, getting really excited again, going through the motions, coming to terms, finding acceptance. Let's just keep going. Like, the less I am emotional about the results that I'm getting from each video, the more energy I have to make the next video for the next day. I just take it one day at a time. And even like yesterday, I could have not made a video, and that would have been okay. I made kind of an announcement that I may or may not make the video for that day, but I had that space open, and it's something that I love. And I was like, why would I not do that? I don't need a break from this. I like doing it, right? So it's just something like just get into the joy of your process, and don't put so much pressure on it, right? The goal is obviously to be fruitful and to course correct when you're not doing something that's efficient or, functional. But ultimately, we do our best, and the chips fall where they may. And so we suffer when we are obsessed over where the chips are falling, right? We have pain that's unavoidable and discomfort for sure, but suffering is definitely sometimes something that we can have more or less of depending on our choices and our actions and our mindset. So this week, I think that we have a really great opportunity to build our, to lean on the Creator for support, to ask our angels and our spirit guides for support. I think that we can put our desires out to the universe and ask the universe for physical support to come through. And I think that we have the tools in our tool belt to go to those when we need support for our emotions, for our nervous system, for our endurance, for our physical well-being. And the key is here to just keep building. Keep building and don't get emotional, because there might be times this week where we feel defeated, where we feel impatient, where we feel a little bit spicy. And then we might feel afraid at times, or we might feel like we're being overwhelmed by catastrophizing, or just feeling overwhelmed by the state of the world, right? But we have to push through. We have to push through. Jesus told his disciples when they were all scared when he was gone, he was like, you can't fall apart every time things get difficult. This is coming from the Chosen, not specific gospel. And that is it was such a good scene, I think, to add to the show, because it illustrated that, yes, the life is not guaranteed, and there are always going to be difficult times. And in the Kabbalah, we learn this too, that it is more important to do your work in the dark times than when it's easy in the light times. Because when you can face the difficulty within the uncertainty and choose certainty in the midst of darkness, then you've just created badassery for yourself. You have transcended in your soul, and you've revealed more light and more strength. Whereas if you can overcome when times are good, it's like, yay, way to go. But it's sort of like bowling with the bumpers down, So be strong. Don't give in to any fears or nightmarish thoughts this week. And if you're having trouble sleeping, or you're having really bad dreams, I like to put howlite under my pillow. Other stones I put under my pillow are gray moonstone, ocean jasper, picture jasper, like any kind of blue lace calcite, or like a blue lace agate, I think is what it is, not blue lace calcite. That's calming. I have, what else do I have underneath my pillow? I had seashell for a while. But definitely the howlite. I can't stay awake if I have howlite under my pillow, especially if there's a few pieces. It's this white chalky stone. And then I have a little box of kosher salt next to my bed on my nightstand. Pyrite is supposedly helpful for keeping bad dreams away. I like to sage my bedroom regularly. And also, if I'm having like fitful rest, I keep in my nightstand a jar of it's like the blue jar, and the brand is called Goli, but the ashwagandha gummies, like I can eat 2 or 3 of those and like really be like in a deep sleep before I know what's happened. So those are some practical tips that I have found help me sleep really well. I usually don't have trouble with sleep stuff, so hopefully it works for you. All right, y'all, that's all for tonight. Peace. We'll be back tomorrow for our weekly anchor message, where we will get our spiritual assignments for the week. Ciao.